watching this video because you are interested in understanding how you can maximize on the money opportunities presented with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. This quick video will give you a summary of the cryptocurrencies that you should consider in your cryptocurrency portfolio. You cannot talk about cryptocurrency without starting where money as we understand it today started. Money simply represents an exchange of value, which means you give something to get something else that you did not have. In early civilization, a better system was used. I could own cows and you have a maize farm, and we could negotiate an exchange. For example, a ton of maize for one cow, we would agree on what is fair and make the exchange without the involvement of a middleman. Things changed when people specialized. Now imagine a shoemaker and a maize farmer. If the two had to exchange value of what they each wanted and needed, the maize farmer would get shoes and the shoemaker needs maize, and they agree on the quantity and the exchange is made. But what happens next week when the shoemaker needs more maize to eat, yet the maize farmer does not need shoes the next week, which means this means of exchange suddenly does not work for everyone. Now cowrie shells come into play and they are introduced as something valuable that could be used. The community has to agree that what can we use to facilitate exchange of value, but that thing must be agreed upon to be valuable for everybody involved, to be used similar to how we understand money today. Now suddenly we're using cowrie shells, and then people out of our community now come in and they don't see value in these shells. For example, look at the Indians coming from India with their spices, and they say we are selling spices and we are so interested, we want to spice up our meat and we want to give them cowrie shells. And they say, hold on, where we come from, we've got a lot of shells. These won't work for us. Suddenly, that means of exchange does not work. And then we saw now what happens is that we saw commodities now coming in to say, is there something that could also be valuable and more acceptable even outside of our communities? We see commodity-based now exchanges. Gold comes in and it's used as a means of exchange, and suddenly it does not work anymore. It is bulky. Imagine being a multi-millionaire. Now you've got all these gold coins. We saw the introduction of bank notes. We saw banks coming in, printing pieces of paper that people could exchange for their notes. And that is where we started seeing the first sign of notes as we know them today. Now we've got government-owned money that is called fiat currency. Now this fiat currency, suddenly, we've come to a point where it's no longer working for all of us. One of the main reasons being that it loses value over time. How so? When I was growing up, a loaf of bread, I grew up in South Africa, we use South African rands as a currency. A loaf of one bread was less than 1 rand. Today, I'm going to need about 15 of those 1 rands to get the same loaf of bread. The same loaf of bread suddenly is worth more. Now came the introduction of Bitcoin in an attempt to solve this problem for us. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency and it was introduced in 2009. So Bitcoin forms part of the natural evolution of money. It works just like money as we know it. You can buy with it, you can save it, you can send it to people, and it has come to be seen as a great creator of wealth. Bitcoin is not owned by any government. It's a global currency. You can leave South Africa and go to the States and still have 1 Bitcoin. If you leave with 1 Bitcoin in South Africa, you have 1 Bitcoin when you get to the States. However, if you leave South Africa with 15 million rands, would you still have 15 million US dollars when you get to the States? No, absolutely not. You would have, maybe looking at today's exchange rate, about 1 million US dollars. Bitcoin levels the playing field. Importantly, it is deflationary in character. That means that, unlike our fiat currency, our rand, it is growing with value over time. Remember the loaf of bread, which was 1 rand when I was growing up, and now it's 15 rands? It lost value. Our money loses value because of inflation. And you will see soon what Bitcoin has done in value over the past 11 years. And the early adopters of Bitcoin, because of that, are now multi-millionaires. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency to be created, but since then there are more than 8,000 cryptocurrencies out there. Any cryptocurrency that is not Bitcoin is referred to as an altcoin. And you'll need some of these altcoins also in your portfolio. Let me just touch on two that you should always, absolutely consider to have in your portfolio. Bitcoin Vault being one of them. Bitcoin Vault, introduced in 2019, brought in a level of security in the cryptocurrency space that has made it a better store of value than Bitcoin. Because now you can store your wealth in this digital asset with a sense of peace and security. And that will be brought about with the built-in security features in this cryptocurrency, in this digital asset. And most importantly, it has also brought in a second chance of wealth creation for those who missed out on the first chance with Bitcoin. And what we've seen as well now, we also have electric cash, another cryptocurrency you should absolutely consider in having in your portfolio. Electric cash comes in as a transactional coin that promises to bring quick and free transactions. That is very important. If you are going to be buying something, you want the transactions to be quick and free. That is awesome, and it is the next big thing in the cryptocurrency space. More so that it carries with this an amazing staking program that allows you to acquire more of this cryptocurrency, more of this digital asset without you paying more for them. Now, how is money made exactly? Let history of the value of Bitcoin tell you the story. See it for yourself. In 2010, I'm going to use the South African rand here. In 2010, one Bitcoin was worth 4 rand. So if I had 400 rands, I would get myself 100 Bitcoins. Now look at this, what will happen 3 years later when one Bitcoin is almost 10,000 rands. At some point, yes, it did hit 10,000 rand in that year. This video shows a snapshot on a particular day every year. Okay, so now let's look at this. 2013, one Bitcoin gets to 10,000 rands. What does it mean for your 100 coins? If you have not sold any of them, it means that now you are sitting with 100 multiplied by 10,000. You are now sitting with almost 100,000 rands. When it's 10,000, you've got 100,000 rands. Remember, you only started with 400 rands. 3 years later, it's now 100,000 rands. You tell me of any digital asset that can do that. That is how millionaires were born, especially when we moved to 2017, when we saw one Bitcoin now suddenly hitting its all-time high of 300,000 rands. Now imagine you still have your 100 coins. 7 years later, your 100 coins are now worth 30 million rands. That is why we are saying that early adopters of Bitcoin became multimillionaires. We move on to 2021. We saw it get it to its peak. Actually, at some point, it hit 650,000 rands for one Bitcoin, which means that those 100 coins would now be worth 60 million rands. That is how money is made in cryptocurrencies. The more of these currencies you have, when you keep them long enough for them to appreciate in value, it makes a lot of money. Let's move on to Bitcoin Vault. Let it tell its own story. Bitcoin Vault was only launched in 2009. Hence, you are only seeing the figures of a couple of months. When it was launched in 2009, it was $1, about 17 rands for one coin. March of 2021, which was like 4 months later, one coin is almost 300 rands. Let's use the same example. For 300 rands for one coin, if you got yourself 100 of those coins at 300 rands, now imagine that. When it reached its peak in price in August. Bear in mind that it took one Bitcoin to reach $100. It took Bitcoin 3 years. Bitcoin Vault in August, a couple of months later, it reaches its peak, where you would have bought 100 Bitcoins. When you would have bought 100 Bitcoins in March for 30,000 rands, when it reaches its peak in August, your 100 Bitcoin, its peak was about 8,500 rands. 8,500 rands in August. Now imagine your 100 Bitcoins. What are they worth now? A couple of months later, 850,000 rands. That is how the early adopters of cryptocurrencies are making money. Yes, you see on the graph the value drops. It's a currency, it fluctuates. When the value drops, see an opportunity to make money by getting the coins at a discounted rate. Remember, if you know what you know about Bitcoin today, the fact that Bitcoin in 2013 was just over 1,000 rands, Bitcoin in 2021 got to 650,000 rands. Bitcoin Vault is still selling at about 1,000 rands today. A couple of years later, what is it going to be worth? Do you want to be an early adopter? Let's move on to Electric Cash. This is a story still to be told. Why? Because as I'm recording this video, Electric Cash is still to be launched. It is going to be launched in February of 2021. Be an early adopter. Are you going to be counted amongst those who own the coin in infancy, so that when the value goes up, you would have the early adopters advantage? Remember, early adopters of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Vault are now multi-millionaires. Those are the three that I'm saying have in your portfolio. Now, how do you acquire cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is a digital asset, okay? So you can buy, sell, and hold, which means that you buy them low, you hold them for a while, and you sell them. Oh, if you're running a business, by the way, you can accept Bitcoin as a form of payment, as a way of you accumulating this digital asset, understanding that it goes up in value over time. Now, I want to say to you, consider and let's focus on you accumulating your currency with mining cryptocurrency. Look at mining as the most cost-effective way for those who are aspiring for financial freedom through cryptocurrencies and wealth creation. Consider mining as the most cost-effective way to do that. What exactly is mining? Mining is a process of producing these coins. The coins are produced using those specialized computers that you are seeing, and they are connected to the ultra-secure blockchain. Mining cryptocurrency is an expensive operation, which has seen many mining farms shut down. But let me tell you about one mining farm that has proved to be profitable even in these difficult times where we have seen a number of operations shut down. And that is the company called MineBest. MineBest was launched in 2017. It's got offices in Poland. They've got 15 mining farms in Kazakhstan and in China, best placed for them to be as effective as they are today. They have already won awards of being the one of the top 10 mining farms. Credibility is there. MineBest is run by the CEO is Eyal Avramovich. Now, there's a company called Mining City, which has partnered with MineBest to give you and me an opportunity to have a say in this mining, to get into mining without worrying about the operation. So they are selling mining power on our behalf for us to mine with MineBest. So they were launched in 2019 and they have grown to over 50 countries with more than 1 million members. By members, I mean customers. I mean people who have bought mining plans with them. They are renting out mining power, more than 1 million, and they have only been in operation for just almost 2 years. Their sales at the end of September of 2020 reached a record $1 billion US. And by the way, they pay out commissions to their customers who choose to sell their business on their behalf. And they have paid out $350 million US in commission when they made those sales. So this is the company, Mining City, that will afford you and I to mine profitably and give us an opportunity to actually create wealth and see financial freedom. How do they do that? They sell mining plans. What are these mining plans? They are renting out mining power for us to not worry about mining costs. The cost of electricity is the biggest cost. I am in South Africa. Our electricity is expensive. So you don't have to worry about running an operation. You tap into this opportunity by renting out mining power from Mining City. They sell mining power in the form of hash rate. The bigger the mining plan, the more hash rate you get. The more hash rate you get, the more Bitcoin, Bitcoin Vault, or electric cash you are going to accumulate. Their mining plans run for 1,100 days, which is about 3 years. To buy the mining plan, you can only buy it when you've got Bitcoin or Bitcoin Vault. So you will take your fiat currency. If it's in South Africa, you'll take your rands and buy yourself some Bitcoin or some Bitcoin Vault and use it to pay for any one of these mining plans. The biggest one is 12,600 US dollars worth of Bitcoin. That is about 210,000 rands. The next big one is a gold plan, which is about 70,000 rands when you convert it at the current Bitcoin rate. By current, it is me talking to you in February of 2021. So that's about 4,200 US dollars worth of Bitcoin gives you a gold plan. You can actually break this gold plan down, okay, and get yourself a silver, bronze, and a standard plan. The three of those actually give you a gold plan. You can buy them over a period of time. You don't have to buy them all at the same time. A silver plan is 2,400 US dollars, about 40,000 rands. A bronze plan, 1,200 US dollars, about 20,000 rands. And a standard plan is 600 US dollars. That will be about 10,000 rand at the current rate of where Bitcoin is. The smallest of the plans is the primary plan at 300 US dollars worth of Bitcoin, sitting at about the current value of 5,000 rands. You will notice that the hash rate also changes. The lower the plan, the less the hash rate. The less the hash rate, the less coins you'll be accumulating. So what must you expect? In these 1,100 days, there is a waiting period of about 10 days. From day 11, your 1,100 days start. Mining City starts mining on your behalf. Actually, MineBest is mining, and they are mining on your behalf based on your hash rate on a daily basis. They will be paying out to you the coins based on your mining plan. You will get fractions of these coins. By the way, these coins have got fractions, just like we've got cents, and those fractions are called Satoshis. So you will acquire your Satoshis little by little every day until they add up to a full coin, more than one coin, and this will happen daily for 3 years until your contract expires. This is the result of a gold plan that has been running for 7 months, which means it's still got about 29 months to go, because 1,100 days is about 36 months. This gold plan, in 7 months, it has accumulated 13 Bitcoin vaults. If you want to know how much that is, you would go to what the current value of Bitcoin Vault is at the time when you want to sell your coins, and that would give you the current value. At today's value, it's about 1,000 rands for one Bitcoin Vault, so you are looking at about 13,900 rands for these 13 coins. Now imagine that when the value of one Bitcoin Vault was 8,000 rands, which is going to go back to, by the way. So imagine that at the value of 8,000 rands, those coins would be worth about 111,000 rands. Now imagine those 13 coins at the current value of Bitcoin, which is about 550,000 rands. 550,000 rands for one Bitcoin today. Imagine the value of Bitcoin Vault gets to that, and you've got 13 coins. That's about 7 million rands. But remember, this has still got a long way to go. It's only on 218 days. It still has 1,000. It's going to go on for 1,100 days. It still has about 29 months to go. That is how money is made. So let me tell you about people who have chosen to use this opportunity not only to mine cryptocurrency, but to use it as a wealth creation opportunity. those who are saying, I want to make a little money extra, those who are saying, I want financial freedom. I've got a student from KZN, a 26-year-old, who said to me when I was talking to her, she said, I just want to make an additional 3,000 Rand as a student so that I don't have to ask for pocket money. Guess what? She took this opportunity to make a business. And not only is she making more than this, she managed to build a home for her parents. Furnish it. Cash. She built it and she furnished it. When I spoke to her, she said to me, she just bought a car. And I said to her, wow, how did you pay for your car? And I said to her, did you use WesBank? WesBank being a vehicle and asset financing company in a institution in South Africa. And she said, what is that? She was not being funny. That is the kind of generation cryptocurrency is bringing up. They don't know debt. She paid for that Audi cash. She is now building her own home. Her dream is to build an academy for cryptocurrencies. Let's look at Thabiso, a military veteran, who says that he was, oh, by the way, Fundo, when I asked her, oh, Fundo, you wanted to make an additional 3,000 a month. How much are you making now? She says, you're going to think I'm crazy. I am now aiming at 500,000 a month. I said to her, is that realistic? She said, absolutely. Next month, I'm going to be making that. That's where Fundo is. Let's look at Thabiso. He says he was deep in debt, and now she has got enough mining plans to make him 200,000 per month. 200,000 rands per month. Do you think he spent that much money? No. He started a business with a primary plan. That is that one for 10,000 rands. Through that, he managed to get more plans that are now making him so much money, and the business that is making quite a lot of money for him. Let's look at Phoebe, a senior HR consultant in Johannesburg, who says that her lifestyle has changed and she is looking forward to retiring at age 50. By retiring at age 50, she is not saying that I am going to be depending on a government grant. No, she is saying that she is going to have the life that she has desired at 50 without having to work another day. That is what cryptocurrency has done for people. There is hope for each and every one of us. To start your cryptocurrency journey, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You need to open an exchange wallet and then buy cryptocurrency. How do you do that? For an exchange wallet, you are going to put money that you want to buy some cryptocurrency with into this exchange wallet. I use ChainX in South Africa. There's a list of the ones you could use in South Africa. If you're in a different place, you will find one that will work in your country. Get an exchange wallet. To buy the cryptocurrency, put money in that wallet and then convert your money to Bitcoin or Bitcoin Vault. And that is that. Now you want to buy a mining plan, get a referral code from the person that is already involved in the business with Mining City, open a Mining City account and get yourself a mining plan. And you are in business. You have started your portfolio and you have also given yourself an opportunity to create wealth. Les Brown says, it's up to you. Every passing moment is another chance to turn it all around. Are you ready for that? Thank you so much.